Hello everybody and welcome to the Front Nine coverage of the final round of the 2021 Music City Open presented by Dynamic Discs. I'm Brian Earhart, joined here by Nathan Queen. One more time, Nathan, we have one more round at Mill Ridge and we are going to crown a champion.
Yeah, one more round out here at this freshly open course to us this weekend. We saw some ups and downs yesterday. Players have a little better idea of what they want to do now. They've got one extra look. We'll see what hot rounds can come of that.
And we have an awesome star-studded card on our chase today. Ben Callaway, Paul McBeth, Garrett Gurthie, Kevin Jones, all within striking distance of that leaderboard. Ricky Wysocki took Mason Ford by one stroke in round 3 with a 12 under par round. It's anybody's game out here today.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how this plays out.
And hole number 1, Flight Factory drone fly through. This one, just sitting out here and watching the players play hole 1, it's giving people a lot more trouble than I thought.
We have Benjamin.
Right,
Callaway.
that tight gap for your first throw of the day.
But it's just 215, it's right in front of you. But it is kind of a low shot. Ben likes to throw a zone backhand on this. Just kind of crash one into the ground. Nice and smooth park job right away. I like that Ben took a full approach on this. Take a look at this 215-foot full approach from Ben. Still even gets to full extension. You don't see that from a lot of people. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, very smooth
Next on
throw
the
there.
box,
Didn't even
we
look
have
like he really did
Paul
anything
McBeth.
until you saw the slow motion throw.
Yeah.
I think one of the reasons this hole can cause some trouble is the gap is pretty small. It's the first gap you're trying to hit. You can focus too much on that and then end up fading left or right into the OB that's pretty close everywhere.
And Paul throwing a Luna, no problem. Paul looking like he's been sweating
Next
all
on the
morning
box,
already.
We have Garrett Gurthie.
It was hot out there today.
It was hot. It was humid. There's a lot of mud still in the warm-up area we had, so he could have been
Covered in mud, just
trucking
rolling
through
around.
that a little bit too.
And this is a much better
Just needs
spread.
to slow down.
Oh, and he bounces off the out-of-bounds pole.
Rounding
20
off our
feet long.
10:34 a.m. tee
What a
time. We
fortunate
have
break
Kevin
there. Hits the
Jones.
PVC pipe in the ground. He must have hit it dead center for it to actually bounce backwards there.
That was a nice little break to start off the round. And here's Kevin to close out the group.
Almost surprised that we didn't see a grenade there.
Yeah, seriously, probably the same reasoning for
It's
what
too
you
short.
said yesterday. Yeah, too short, and you don't want any wind up there to catch it and throw you out of bounds. And Double G after a little kiss from the disc golf gods.
Way to capitalize. I know he's sponsored by Tree Love. We'll have to see about the PVC love here pretty soon.
We're gonna plant a PVC. This looks a little bit more like the spread I was thinking of whenever I first walked up to this hole.
Yeah, 8 strokes total for the card. That sounds about right for 215 feet.
Nice little dainty tap in from Ben, and we're gonna move on to number 2.
773-foot par 4. Pretty tough. Like total opposite from hole 1 pretty much. You've got a tight gap off of the tee and very short. Now you're just going to bomb it as far as you can over top of this hedgerow and then try to have a straight look through another set of trees towards the basket.
And there's that nuke Ben's been throwing all season. Does it have enough to get behind those that section? And it
What
does.
a smash.
It's a long shot to get behind those bushes right there. Paul flipping that over a bit.
Yeah, it's still... Oh, he may have gone long enough. I think he stayed short of that, but it's still pretty open as long as he stayed out of there, just a lot further away. Harder to access the green.
Oh my. They just start laughing right away. That is huge.
Come backwards? Okay.
Oh, and it was so high up in the air that it kind of stalled out at the end.
Yeah, doesn't quite get the full flight out of that, but he did get a pretty good rollout to not
Yeah.
be inside of that bush.
Yeah, I was thinking that was going to get just a bit more turn and go about 650.
Kevin going with that extreme hyzer flip that he likes to do.
Oh, and it still flips over.
And he does it so well. Pulls it over there. You don't see many players go for shots like that.
No.
And he does it on the regular 500 feet.
Paul from a patent pending stance. That's a little bit more overstable disc, and he's going to just have an up and down there for a 4. But yeah, when Kevin throws those long, almost vertical hyzer flips, he looks like an ultimate player throwing a pull. It's just, yeah, I don't know. It's so tucked in to get that much spin on such a flippy disc. And from where Garrett's at, that's actually a pretty solid approach shot.
Yeah, able to take advantage of that little rollout, get to just outside of the circle for his birdie look.
Beautiful.
And able to go with a forehand mid-range from how far his drive got. And bends even further. He's going up.
Oh, he's going over the tree line. He's way up the fairway. To be able to do that, you have to throw so high and so far.
Do it.
Done and done.
Sit down? Okay. Oh, what a run from Ben.
Yeah, that's probably 50 feet back there through some trees, a little Anheuser putt, and able to catch some chains. Didn't quite have the commitment on that one that we saw from him yesterday.
Nice easy 4 there from Ben. Paul about to do the same.
And Kevin's still waiting around to tap in his birdie.
And this is a course we've seen some pretty hot starts on. People going 6 for 6.
Let's go, Kev.
And to put some pressure on that lead card, I think we're going to need to see that. Hole number 3, 728-foot par 4. You have an option to go up the gut where the drone flew, or you can just go a power hyzer over the top right side of those trees. You just need to get in play, and then you have a few different options to get to the basket from there. Kevin is just going with the big sky hyzer.
Okay.
Some strange commentary from the gallery.
Oh yeah, and he's pumped that way out there. He'll be able to throw a forehand hyzer or backhand hyzer from there, whichever he decides is best. I think forehand plays better for the ground play at the green. It's sloped slightly that way where you can spike it in. It's possible it could skip and do a little roll coming in right to left.
Ooh, and Ben going up the gut with that stable nuke, and that is looking tasty. Is he a little too far?
Yeah, hopefully he didn't get too far. But he's got such clean form. He's got that straight-up hyzer shot we've seen him throw before.
You know, the one thing I also noticed, Ben is also working on a grenade. He's actually working to implement that shot that Kevin does so well. We've seen how useful it can be as a utility. And Paul, just effortless distance up the middle.
And that's an ideal spot to be. Doesn't really have to worry about the tree line like Ben may have to.
Garrett going hyzer. With how dangerous this rough is on this course, I think you're going to see Garrett try to take this as much as possible.
Yeah, anytime that you can throw over it and be certain that you aren't going to fall back in it on the other side, there's no reason not to, because it's impossible to play from this rough. So Paul choosing the forehand, and this looks pretty good. I like it.
Sticks it to 15.
Imagine Garrett gonna take the right side here, which is just as open. There's a little bit that wraps around that's a little closer to the basket, but not much to play with. Garrett makes it over, and he's inside the circle for his birdie putt.
And Kevin just getting to go A3 forehand. These are all just huge drives that have come out here. And Kevin's putting for his third birdie in a row. Oh, wow, you were not kidding. Ben got way up the fairway. He has to go just vertical hyzer. This is the grenade that I'm talking about. He throws a very flippy Punisher, one of his favorite underrated drivers that Discraft makes.
Oh, and again, just a little low. Looks like he was just outside the circle there. Didn't quite have, not quite committing to it just yet. Oh, and that's a strange one from Paul.
Yeah, high left. And Kevin, that's 3 in a row for him.
Yeah, that's a great start. That's how you want to do it, trying to put some pressure on these guys up front.
Oh, yeah.
And what looked to be 4 birdies turned into just 2 with a little bit of struggles on the putting green. But we should have some par cleanups here for the other players.
We see the players just glistening in sweat right now. It was one of those weird days out in Tennessee. The sun was really hot, but the shade significantly cooler.
Yeah, I was looking at the weather this morning. I think it was about a high of 79, but the humidity was 96%. So quite a lot of wetness out there today. But that moves us into hole 4, 753 feet. Our third par 4 in a row where you are not able to see the basket from the tee pad.
Yeah, and this is one that we saw Garrett throw into the mouth on his drive. That is a huge shot. And Kevin just throwing a worm burner of a forehand, but just got enough lift on that shot.
Yeah, and he'll have a little further away from the pin than he wants, but he's in a good angle, or has a good line to it from there.
I'm wondering if the rest of the card is trying to get into the mouth like Garrett was. Ben definitely has the distance to get there. Okay, so he's just going a more conservative shot.
As long as this catches some of that taller grass. And I think he stayed far enough back. He's going to have an angle. If he can get something to skip and stand up straight rather than flare off to the left, then he'll be able to try to get a birdie look.
Ooh, and Paul going little hyzer flip, drift off to the right.
This is still fading out a little early, though.
Oh, come on. Oh. Oh, no.
And he has gone
That is an awful place to go out of bounds.
out of bounds with not a great chance of having a way to the basket.
He has
from
to
there.
pitch up.
And
Yikes.
it looks like Paul was trying to get into the mouth there, and that is about worst case.
You wonder if it's truly worth it.
Garrett's trying again.
Does it have the turn? I thought it was too high yesterday.
Flies into the gap and gets a drop down. He's inbounds, and maybe we'll see one of those forehands that we see from him. Not too often, but he can pull them out.
Yeah. And Kevin going sidearm here. Is he going over the top of the tree line? Oh, he's trying to go some sort of trick forehand.
Yeah, it looks like he was going for the hyzer stand-up just to get it to drift on down there. And just a bit low. Looked like it had a good angle on it, though.
Okay, Ben is just going, this is a Raptor. He's just throwing flex forehand.
There you go, Ben.
Not too shabby, just needed a bit more height on it. And Paul utilizing the ability to go as far back as you want from the OB.
And it looks like he is going to go up and try to get in there to save a par. I don't know much about what it looks like at the basket down here, but I know there's a lot of trees that can kick you OB. Double OB on hole 4.
He's putting 5 from there.
And Garrett did go forehand pretty pinched off, just trying to get out to get his par. Not quite what he was looking for there, but he'll still be inside the circle or right around circle's edge.
There you go, Kev.
Nice little correction there. And Garrett looking like outside of circle 1 a little bit after kind of sawing off that approach. Yeah!
Oh, and what a save. I was way off on inside the circle. That looks to be about 40 feet.
Oh, I love that little stepper he's starting to do.
Oh, that's so good. Hyzers it right in. Great par save there. And this is going to be a pretty tricky putt. There's lots of little trees over there.
And Paul misses low. That's going to be a 6 for him.
Double bogey 6 to put him over par for the round.
And, you know, starting the round, he had 4 strokes he had to make up. That is... It's going to put him way behind the pace. You know, when you get to a course like this where you know you're going to have to shoot under par, pretty far under par to make a move, you cannot afford a hole like that. We do have a chance to get that birdie back on hole number 5, just 242 feet dead straight. If you hit some of these early trees, you'll be circle's edge. If you miss them, you'll be right up next to the basket. Kevin just going with a putter. Nice and simple.
Good correction, Kev.
Yeah, and that's going to be 20, 25 feet. Turned a little bit. And he sneaks through that right side. He's going to be 10 feet from the basket.
Snuck right in there. This has got to be close to the easiest hole on the course, I would imagine.
Yeah, this is playing as the easiest today. 2.35 average, double G, throwing a nice, soft floater in there. And again, we love zooming in on Garrett throwing touch shots. Surprisingly, one of the better touch throwers that I've ever played with in regards to just snapping his wrist.
Yeah, he really likes throwing mid-ranges rather than putters.
Yeah.
And it just can touch them so well.
Exactly. Yeah, powering down on something faster and, you know, putting maybe a little bit more nose up, a little bit more Anheuser to stable it out.
Good looking. There you go, baby. That's it.
And trickles on through the woods. Birdie putt there for Paul.
Yes, sir.
And a good putt there from Kevin. That'll put him 4 down through the first 5, making that push.
As these players tap in. I do want to say, I really love when we zoom in and give the slow-mo side angle camera views on a shorter shot like this to showcase what players can look for in a standard shot. You know, you see some of these big distance drives, how extended all these players can be, and not every player starting out should be aspiring to do that.
Right, not right away for sure. It'd be nice to go back and compare.
Exactly.
There you go, Ben.
And that is a nice little star frame, and we will see you on hole number 6.
Me and my brother and my dad were out there for hours just playing disc golf, having fun.
That's like one of the first things we usually say. It's a great family sport.
We got to do it as a family.
And it builds relationship. Like, I know my dad so much better because of disc golf.
It's nice that that's something that we can connect and go do together.
My parents are 100% behind it. Bad rounds, good rounds, doesn't matter. They always have a smile on their face.
We don't call it sacrifice, we call it fun.
Get out there and have fun. At the end of the day, most important is have fun.
That brings us to hole 6, what I'm gonna call Bean Island. 289 feet. Just a pretty soft forehand hyzer.
Oh, I love that. I wasn't expecting that. You made me break character there, man. Nice little forehand.
And yeah, that's kind of what you want to do on this hole. It's just a little soft forehand. It's fairly easy to push long. It's pretty tight behind the basket.
And that looks really solid as long as it doesn't go too far. And Ben sticks it on the bean. He's going to be about 40 feet from the basket.
We had a cool spotter today coming out. He'd come out and wave the flag for you real clear where you could see it. I appreciate the little extras like that.
Absolutely. With the amount of times that I've had a spotter give me a green flag and have it turns out it's out of bounds, I appreciate the transparency with this spotter.
And Garrett with the sidearm there, getting it on the island. We don't see him use that off the tee very often.
Ooh, and Paul has skied this forehand.
This looks a little soft. Yeah,
Oh,
it catches
man.
those trees, and this drop zone is almost insta-bogey. You can run it, but if you run it in airball, you're going to have a 5 because there's OB pretty close
Oh,
behind
he
it.
is running it.
Oh, and just stays in bounds.
And Ben bangs the birdie on the bean. Nice too.
Nice bean birdie from Ben there.
Ooh.
Yes, and Garrett making his putt as well. Great forehand birdie from him.
Nice little weak side catch for Kevin. Tied for 4th place with Ben Callaway. They are making a move, slowly moving up the leaderboard. Paul, on the other
Yeah.
hand, is just having a tough time.
You see, he had to mark that because he was too close to putt where he was at. He was pretty close to that. About what you're going to expect from hole 6, though. 3 on the island, 1 off.
Yeah, hole number 7. This is just a placement par 4. You shoot a drive out to hopefully be perpendicular to this gap that you can't quite see off the tee, and then you have a pretty straightforward approach to this basket.
Yeah, there is an aggressive play going high hyzer flip or a grenade here from Kev.
No, wait. Not even
close?
No, not even close. It was perfect. Come on.
And he didn't hit anything this time.
3 feet.
Right down the middle. He's loving it. He's loving it.
And he...
Let's take a look at this grenade. Actually, gone a little bit long, but just so you folks at home see what he's doing, he's holding it upside down. He does what's called the claw grip, where it's situated between his pointer finger and his middle finger, and he's essentially throwing just straight up in the air, kind of tilting his spine over and rotating upwards. Such an interesting shot, but from the players that are good at it, I see exactly why they use it.
Yes, it's very easy. When you're good at it, they can pinpoint it and know once they let it go, it is going to go to the spot that they threw it at.
Yeah, it's the best way to throw a perfectly up and down, I guess you could call it a knife hyzer.
Garrett going back to that color glow rock 3. As long as this doesn't push too far, which it may just
They
have.
didn't like it, but we did.
I'm going to go with them this time.
And Garrett trusting the gallery. Then a Luna from Paul here.
Yeah, nice and textbook play.
Nice one.
And he plays a little farther away from the gap. Makes that ceiling just a little bit lower. But he's going Luna again. He's just picking this hole apart.
Yeah, it looks like he fell a little bit short of where you want to land in
Ooh.
the gap and is going to have to go Anheuser here.
Does it have enough on it,
There you
though?
go.
Yeah, he is pin height. Not quite far enough left. He'll be circle 2. And Garrett did go a little bit long over there. He's having a... I believe this is one of his wraiths.
Okay. Does it have enough turn on it, though? Wow, yes, it does. Kind of a fadeaway as well, throwing his body weight into the shot. And Kevin, this is going to be a fun turnover to watch. He's got to get this to track so far right.
Yeah, you know he hasn't practiced that shot at all. That's not a play. And he just gets it up there inside the circle. Incredible turnover shot.
Ben kind of with the best placement out of all the players here. He just gets to go with a Raptor. Oh, low.
Low, and that was probably a good hill grab that could have flared off to the right side and been in a little more trouble.
Okay, he's going to have a nice little tap in for a par. Kind of a blown opportunity there for Ben, but... There's the putter. Give us that
Putter.
Gatekeeper rewind.
All right.
Looks like Paul's trying to putt a little flatter.
Putter, putter, putter.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see, I was watching him practice. You can see his downward, or his
downstroke, yeah.
His downstroke has a little bit of that Annie like we used to see Yuli do a lot.
Yes. And he used to come down way hyzer on his putt. And you wonder if he's just going through, a phase of just experimenting, or it's something that's clicked for him. But regardless, there's always those weird transitional periods where you have to try it in tournament.
Yeah, and a turkey from Garrett and Kevin here.
The Star Excalibur is a workhorse disc for me. It's been a staple in my bag at all my biggest wins, taking care of the majority of my distance forehand work, whether it's Winthrop Gold, Lake Eureka, or Wild Horse. It's been a disc that I've used and always trusted to give me a lot of distance and a predictable fade that I can always lean on, even in high pressure situations.
Bringing us to hole 8, 1,020 feet, par 5. Just a couple placement shots, and then you can have a good look at the basket. Your first one, if you can get it 430 feet or so, you can push off to the left side and then have a choice if you want to go right or left.
Right is definitely the option. Once you get to that second fairway, there's left and right. Left is usually the pressure release valve for just a safe par. If you have the right placement, you can go down that right corridor and have a lot easier look at the basket. Kevin playing a little bit more conservative.
That dropped really fast. I'm not sure. I guess it did make it.
He will have at least a giant turnover out the left side.
Yeah, G. Yeah, Garrett.
Yeah, I guess that's pretty good.
Straight hyzer 460, no problem.
I mean, we watched it at the Match Play Championships at the Steel Club. 460 hyzer is becoming kind of a standard skill set when you're getting to the top of these leaderboards.
That's what you need to have if you don't want to have many problems.
Yeah, exactly. And Paul, oh no. Great shot, but he's right in front of these. Oh, he's right in front of these signs.
Yeah, he's gotten far enough where I think standstill is going to be plenty, though, for him to be able to probably throw a flex backhand to that right side and still be within 300 feet after 2.
This is a very steep hyzer from Ben. Got a little bit of flip at the high speed. Yeah. It's another guy that throws just a huge hyzer.
Yeah, I never had much worry about that one. I know when it doesn't look like he threw it that it's going to go about 450.
Okay.
And Kevin was out of bounds there, it looks like.
There you go, baby.
And just crushing a roller with the red D2, and this puts him out into the open.
Yeah, he'll have a straight look at the basket now. Throwing 4, so with the chance to save his par.
And let's see. You heard him say, oops.
Yeah, he got it a little turned over. Oh, and he's got that hay bale right in front of him now. He'll still have some room to work with most likely a backhand and hyzer from there. Garrett got far enough off of the tee that he's just going to smash one out here. Oh. He's caught a little trouble over there on the left side and found a tree. Depending on how much in that tree he is, he may have a look.
So Paul's almost going sideways.
Yeah, he's still going to
trying
play
to address
this left
his
side.
lie. Oh, is he going? Where is he going? I think he was just trying to throw a big flex, and the disc he chose just wasn't stable enough. And
Yeah,
now
I'm not sure if these players have seen that there's a right side of the fairway over there.
I know. Yeah, I was noticing that. You know, watched the FPO earlier today, and 2 of them took that right side and got way up there.
Paul could have thrown a standstill 250 feet and then had a standstill hyzer, or not standstill, but just a hyzer forehand from about 300 or less.
It's such a weird, sprawling hole with so much ground to cover. Ben throwing a nice, stable backhand turnover. That is a great shot from where he's at. Okay, this is going to take some power.
Yeah, he's definitely still a good distance away.
Kevin loves it. You heard him in the background. Giving him the whoa, dude.
Incredible. That had to be at least 350 feet from a knee.
Yeah, I'm going to rewind that one later. That was ridiculous. It was another shot where Garrett didn't have a full swing, but he threw his body weight into it and just kind of let go of the disc.
And there it went.
Ooh, some nice dexterity from the cameraman.
Yeah, and a nice birdie from Ben. We haven't been saying much about him getting birdies this round, but he's just quietly keeping up with Kevin right now, who's on a shredder. Garrett as well, he's playing well.
Ooh, a little bit high. You see the wind gusting. You see the trees moving in the background. That got a little float underneath it, and luckily he hits high-sided sticks in the basket. Garrett after just a ridiculous scramble. Almost spitting out of the basket, but he also gets a birdie. And like you said, these guys are starting to put some pressure on the leaderboard. Ben and Kevin are tied for 4th right now. Moving into number 9.
Yeah, and Garrett just one stroke behind.
Number 9 is an interesting shape. It's a tough one to park unless you are throwing that high hyzer we watched Garrett throw yesterday. It's tucked pretty far to the left. See if he goes again on that high route. Oh, and he chooses the lower route this time.
I like this.
Wow, and he puts it inside the circle again.
Yeah, great shot there. Looks like Ben's going to try to throw a similar line.
I'm guessing it's because of the wind change. Nice looking line from Ben. That needs to get the flare. Yeah. That'll work.
Also inside the circle.
And this, I feel like, is a hole that's super lined up for the lines that Kevin likes to throw.
Yeah, he already releases on that hyzer no matter what the hole is, so just has to pick the disc that's going to hold it this time.
Little inside. Not enough distance. Tons of power on that shot. It looked like he barely threw it.
Yeah, and it just kind of stalls out and gets a soft flare as well.
You noticed the same thing I did.
Yeah.
Kevin
hitting chains from 75 feet there.
This is to take a stroke on Kevin. And Ben Callaway is tied for 3rd place right now. And he is shooting really well.
Yeah, we've got 3 players here pushing very strong from the chase card. Making sure if that lead card makes any mistakes, they will be right there.
Garrett also capitalizes another birdie. He is moving right now.
Yeah, that's 5 in a row for Garrett now. After an incredible par save on 4, Paul able to pick up the birdie as well. Starting to knock off that double bogey that he had back on hole 4.
And as Kevin just casually walks over to tap in his 3, that is going to do it for an exciting front 9 here at Mill Ridge. Ben Callaway and Garrett Gurthie, 6 under par. Kevin joining them at 6. Paul with just a couple of rough holes, leaving him at 1 under.
But 6 through 9, that's what you called needed to happen to make a push on this lead card. They're holding them off strong, though, with a 6 and a 7 from 2 of the players.
We still have a lot of disc golf left, and we very well may see a chase card champion in this event. Make sure to subscribe to Gatekeeper Media on YouTube. We have 9 more holes for you folks, and we will see you soon. I'm Brian Earhart. He's Nathan Queen, and we are signing off.
We'll see you guys out there.